Hello everybody, it's Vertical Sandwich. Welcome back to Let's Play Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. We are in post-commentary, and we are catching familiars and doing errands and turning in things for rewards and etc, etc, etc. I ran the dialogue on these things kind of extra slow. You will be able to read them yourself. I won't be doing voice acting for kind of, well, because of watching in review screen, essentially. So, yeah, I'm just going to show you some familiars I caught and some things so this is Tyke Myson, the spike Tyke. It's like the greatest default name ever. Alright, and there are 2 sprockets in there, and you should get them. Sprockets are super important. They're a pretty common random drop from some enemies, but that does not change the fact that you should pick them up. Alright, so we have to return this guy's diary to him. Or his journal, or whatever. And we get a fine frock and some money. Alright, and we collected the slapsticks we needed by blinding wambats or whatever.
Here goes nothing.
I don't remember why we're showing this fight. Okay. So there are going to be a lot of these. In my last kind of play session, I think I averaged about 1 every 5 or 6 videos where I had to do these compilations. And it's because we're really outpacing the collection. Oh, we metamorph a Ryumarbu, or wait. I can't see it. I can't. I actually can't see the name. It looks like Ryubimaru. So, yeah, so we metamorph that, or him, or it, or the cat, and add a trick in the trick slot we gained, and it's just a lot of running around like that. I'm not saying you can't route in kind of live commentary videos of this game, but or keep them all live commentary, but some of the stuff, I mean, it would be really rough. It would be impossible in late game. It would be absolutely impossible. There's some grind stuff you have to do for some of the late errands. There's no way. There's just no way. I'm thinking specifically of the after game alchemy errand, if you're familiar with it. So yeah, so now he's got slapsticks and he's slapping them. Take that, you big div! Like, sorry. Like, fun stuff. I actually wish I would have caught this on live commentary for kind of this dialogue, and then later there's dialogue with Old Father Oak where Drippy is complaining about us always talking about his ma'am, which I think is really funny. Alright, he'll give you that. Look here! So we get a Dryad Spear, which we were going to equip right away. It's a good spear. It actually, I don't remember if it deflects damage back at the enemy. That sounds right. Later we get a sword that heals your hit points as you hurt things, and that's going to be a staple of my late game play, but we're not even close to there yet. I mean, we're not even close. This is going to be a long long Let's Play. Alright, so we left the researcher's ruin or something over here. I don't remember what he's called.
Come on!
But the enemy type is Column. He is he is not a. I don't believe he is a sprite of a familiar we can get. There's a couple of those. There's the Magma Woman. Is a sprite we cannot get. By the way, this guy is weak to storm elements. And we're doing that wrong. We're using water element on him, which I just didn't know any better, I guess. So, but like this guy, I think is also a unique one. The Fug you will see later is, I believe, also a unique enemy sprite. The Ulk, which we will see, unique enemy sprite, I believe. Although I don't know. Maybe you can catch an Ulk as a familiar. I've never tried. My guess is no. And we'll deal with that later. There actually is, these are all bounty hunts that I'm talking about. We'll get later. We're gonna see, you know, several versions of this guy. We'll see several. Oh, that turtle! The turtle one, too. Like, we'll see a lot of him, and I don't believe you can do it.
We did it!
Alright, so now he's a dead golem. Or column. Alright, do we turn that in? We could turn in the, I believe it was a candle cutter we made earlier for this alchemy girl. Very early errand we can't do till later. So yeah, we get some stuff, and then she'll also give us some alchemy recipes. So that's cool. To get a trophy later, we're gonna have to make a huge amount of these alchemy recipes. And it's pain. It's a huge pain. Alright, we got a Sacred Dagger. And, you know, 1 merit stamp short of filling a card. So, there's some things we can buy here in Castaway Cove and do some alchemy. So, we're gonna well, essentially what we're gonna do is make some watchmaker axes for our 2 axe using familiars. So it's just an iron axe and a sprocket. There's actually a slightly more advanced axe you can make from the watchmaker's axe, and we'll be making one of those later. Only one, though. It's a little more resource heavy, so. Although axes are a little trickier as far as the alchemy goes, and like the top level axes are way harder to make than things like the top level swords and stuff like that. But all in good time. All in good time. So for our axe users and things, the majority of our stuff will be fueled by things we can buy in shops. So I was up on this plateau, and I did a lot of running around up on this plateau because I was kind of misreading my instructions on where things should be. And I picked up 2 familiars here, so we'll see the battles for those. Clearly I get one of these guys because they're the only enemy in the battle, so I must have got one. But these guys are leveled up enough to still cause me some trouble, so catching them was not a bad idea. And the whole familiar taming thing gets a little weird later, because later your standard enemies are like 3rd level familiars, so they've been evolved twice. So catching them is fine. They start at higher levels, they're stronger enemies, but you miss, you know, checking off the 2 versions below them. So like these guys, there's probably I should have changed the name, the spelling of Tui for it to be like Banjo Tooie, but I did not. So these guys, there's probably a 1st level of them that we didn't catch, but I'm not sure. All right.
Let's go.
So we get one of these chirping guys too.
Here goes.
I gave these guys default names because I thought maybe what I would do is in my next video I would just go, hey, I caught these guys, but I didn't do it. Because you won't see most of the familiars we catch. You know, it's a 9 familiar game, right? That's your max level of familiars you can have, switching in and out of your party. So the idea of catching 250 of them is, I guess, fantastic, but it doesn't make any sense. Like the majority of the familiars you catch will be worthless, no matter what you do.
We did it.
Some of them are very broken one way, and some of them are very broken the other. So I just don't see you raising a nap cap to the level that it, you know, that it's really destroying higher level bosses or anything. Whereas some of the stuff you get kind of later in the game can be pretty broken. All right, so if you go to Golden Grove at this point in the game, there is an errand here where fairies want to go back there, but there are these boars eating all of their mushrooms and beating them up or something. Calm down, man, will you? What drippy boy? Is that you? So, the way this works is you have to fight 3 boar fights of varying difficulties. It seems to me that I picked them not in the order from easiest to most difficult. I think I went easy, hard, medium. And then you come back to this guy and you've completed your deal. We're going to stop and get a green chest while we're doing that, because there is a green chest in this place. I don't know how I'm going to do green chest cleanup, but what I'm thinking is there'll be some stuff that helps me out with it a little later. The problem isn't going to be the stuff that's in towns or in dungeons, because the telling stone will tell you about those. My problem is going to be the stuff that is in forest glades. Because, like, every forest glade has a regular chest and a green chest. And that's all fine and everything, but the forest glades we've already visited. I mean, the green chests aren't really all that great. They're almost always filled with jewels to give familiars abilities. And some of those you will use. They'll make sense, and some of them you won't. Which, by the way, when you're doing errands like this, if you saw that little cloudy place on the map, clear that in. Like, seriously, clear it in. Like, go over to that spot and walk around in it until it lets you know that you've cleared it. Because 100%ing the areas in this game is a thing. And you have to fill in the map completely. So we get a nap cap here, and they're important for later. There's an island where there are 5 tasks that familiars give you to get rewards from them, and one of them is a mushroom familiar who wants to meet another mushroom familiar.
Next time.
So a nap cap helps with that. So if you get a chance in Golden Grove, catch a nap cap. And maybe the other evolutions of nap caps might work. So I don't know, but and Al Capone is clearly the default name you're gonna go with this familiar. So here's our first boar. They act like bounties. You have to walk up to them and talk. And
Stay calm now.
And this is going to take a bit, because we're going to have to show all of the battles. And these enemies are not pushovers at this point in the game. So. But you can run around the Golden Grove, and you could run back to the save points. and refill your HP and MP between every battle. So, I'm not suggesting you don't do that. I don't know how to say this. For me, it wasn't necessary, but for you, it might be. And if it is, then do. Because this is actually a really good errand for picking up stamps and stuff. And it's not like, even if you lost like 2 characters, even if you had 2 characters go down to 1 hit point after this battle, and you had to run back to the... You'd make it. I mean, you're so over-leveled for Golden Grove at this point. Huh, I'm a little interested that my cursor kept moving, but my page didn't scroll over. That kind of irks me a bit. So yeah, we got a fairy chocolate. So I guess that one didn't contain a gem. It contained a food for familiars. Alright, so this is number 2. And this is the hardest one, because there's 3 of the crashing boars and 1 hyper boar.
Here goes.
That is actually going to happen in, like, one of the next errands, or one of the errands in the next town we go to, has pirates, and it's the kind of same thing. Depending on which one you hit, it, you know, the number of support characters changes. And yeah, I mean, and we're taking quite a beat here. I mean, these things are not... The issue with them is that they hit so hard, is that, like, they have these special moves that'll knock you off your feet and really do some damage. And, gold glims are awesome. So, now we learned that if your familiar is about to time out and lose their stamina, and you pick up a gold glim, it refills the stamina. And by the way, he survived that, so that's impressive.
We've won!
Alright, so that was the hardest fight of the 3 here, so our next one should be downhill. Especially since we got healing for Oliver right before, because the gold glim heals us up completely. Not our magic.
You guys!
And yeah, see, this is 2 in 1, so far easier than the one we just did. And so this one I decided to focus on the Hyperbore. I don't think that's a bad move, actually. At least in the fights aside from the one where I just did. He's not a bad thing to fight. You get rid of him and you can just treat these guys as kind of like regular enemies. A pain in the butt. And just, you know, hack and slash and stuff. I'm eventually gonna have to move Ryan's familiar to Swain, because Swain actually prefers that type of genus. And to tell you the truth, my practice file worked very well. Him having like the heavy hitter, big bulky, like the hurly burly or whatever he's called, and also having the monkey. So yeah, you get back here and this this fairy is cornered by the biggest, baddest boar of them all. And I didn't have as much trouble talking to him as you would think. I actually just really liked the action his sprite was making, so I wanted to look at it. Alright. So here we go.
Come on, you guys! Here goes!
And I healed up completely before this fight. I mean, and you want to do that. As you're going back here, you have to walk past a waypoint, so you should heal. It doesn't make any sense for you to not heal and save. Which again is a thing you can do between all of these fights if you would like. Certainly not a giant. We had so much trouble getting the last hit in on that one. Wow, that's crazy. But I mean, at this point, we just, you know, I mean, at this point, it's just a massacre. Just one boar trying to survive. Alright, so that's our errand. Took up most of this video. Oh, that was a full bore. I see. So we get a pointy hat and 700 guilders, but no, that's a weak reward for what we just did, really. I mean, pointy hat is the only helmet we have access to, so at this point in the game, really. Alright, so we have to talk to Old Father Oak, and he will give us, I believe, a Medal of Dexterity at this point in the game. And then actually something I didn't do is now that we have the bridge spell, outside of Old Father Oak's, just outside of the Deep Dark Wood, there is an area where you can make a bridge. The enemies are still a little strong for us there. There are some treasures you can dig around for. At this point in the game, it's not worth it. Later, it'll be worth it for completion. But there are some other things, some very important things about that area of the game, but considering kind of where we're at in the game and what's going to happen next and stuff, it's not really worth the exploration. I did give it a try and went over and kind of got my butt handed to me. I mean, I didn't die, but I realized pretty quickly what a pain it was going to be to kind of wander around. And largely, I'm going to be unlocking areas as we actually unlock them. That's kind of my plan. So, digging out treasures in areas as we go along. So yeah, so that's Old Father Oak. That's his reward this time. And then right over here, there is a bridge area, and we will make a bridge. And then when we come back, some live commentary. Actually, they like 3 videos or 2 videos of live commentary, and then back to collection videos. So I will see you guys for that, and thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.